Hi folks, half size sheet for the next couple of watercolours, 7.5 inches by 11, so we've got a rough old mount to load in. These are a couple of tutorials, or at least one tutorial. Right, now to answer a couple of questions about keeping watercolours moist. Well, that's how I do it. And somebody said, asked if my towel, because I've got a bit of towel underneath here, which I keep moist with a spray of water. Does it go mouldy? Well, no, it doesn't really. But if it starts to go mouldy, just take it out, rinse it, and put it back clean, and then spray it and carry on. It's not going to last indefinitely without going mouldy or rotting or getting mildew, so you've got to use a bit of discretion there. I also mentioned my Masterson Stay Wet palette, which I haven't used for a long time, but you can put your watercolours on a towel in a Masterson box. I don't even know where it is. I've moved it and I don't know where it is. Come on, Masterson Stay Wet palette. Oh, well, I've shown it before. It's about the size of that. It's a document case. I know it doesn't help, but I really don't know what I've done with it for the moment. But there again, that box is for acrylic, oil and watercolour. Although you put your paints on a membrane on top of a sponge, a thin sponge which expands with water, or just a bit of towel. It doesn't make any difference as long as it stays moist. But you've got to check it. These things will go mouldy after a while. So there's my palette. They're all nice and ready to go. And just lay it flat in there. See a bit of burnt. Sorry, the picture's got a bit dry. It's on automatic, my camera, and I have to do that a couple of times for it to settle down. So, watercolours. Now, being asked about these script brushes, I got these on eBay about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're superb brushes. I prefer them to mops. I don't really get on with the mops. And to give a comparison of size, now I don't know what the sizes of these are. I don't read Chinese, but that might be upside down if you can read it. But I'll compare it to a number 12 sable blend. It's about the same size as number 12 sable, but the bristles are much longer. They are lovely for detail, for doing your impression of tree shapes, which I will use. I'm not going to use them for my initial sky colour wash. I'll use the hake for that. But there they are. I bought the 3 of those in a pack for £4.50. So what's that, about $6? They've probably gone up because I've been promoting them. But they came in a pack of 3, and they're the size of a round sable, number 12 sable. So there we are. I hope that helps. Right, okay, so let's put my sable back. I don't use them. I bought them, and I bought some Kalinsky sables, large, number 8 and number 12, for about £20. Oh, look, we've gone wrong again. I don't know what to do about this. Right, okay, so I'll here's my colours. Let's just give the piece of paper a bit of a wet. Being Saunders Waterford, it's quite porous, well, very porous. And this is the smooth, it's a cold pressed one. It's not the hot pressed, which is very smooth, but that's a lovely paper to work on too. So let's put a bit of warmth in this. My usual way of working with watercolour. put a bit of light red in there. And then we'll put in a bit of blue, a bit of jolly blue. Okay, so that'll do. I'm going to give that a dry in a moment. Let's just reclip the paper. As it expands, just cut a bit of hardboard or something like that to fit your piece of paper. Let's take the excess off. Right, I'll give that a dry, so take your headphones off. You've got rather more water on the bottom, so let's just reclip it again, see if I can get those little bits out there. Probably not, I'll have to, it's not dry really there. But anyway, so we'll take the large one of the three. Don't forget my tea. Oh, I love my tea. Right, let's have a rocky type scene. Turn my palette around the right way. I always lay my paints out the same way, even with my oil palette. The yellows, the reds, the blue, the burnt umber, which I don't use very much, Payne's grey and the burnt sienna. That I don't use a lot of in the landscapes, so I tend to use the red ochre. But it's a lovely colour. Right, we'll need to put a bit of background in, so let's put in a bit of a warm see, I'd normally do this with a hake, but right, now I'm going to put in some more background on that, but it's just a little bit wet. That's, warm the next bit up. It holds quite a bit of water. Oh, let's get a bit of a horizon in there. Right, oh, this is got a bit lumpy there. I'll give that a dry and then I can carry on with it. So headphones off, go. It's more or less shrunk back now. I'm going to just put another wash over that there. I wouldn't like to try this on the Fabriano, but well, when I say Fabriano, I mean the student quality, not the professional artist quality. Alright, now let's get some trees. Over here, this. Oh, not as clumsy as the hake. I'll always be a hake painter. It's my sort of brush. Okay. And then I'll use a smaller brush now. I'll use that one. Get it wet first, then squeeze out the excess moisture. And we'll put in a bit of a just a bit of ultramarine with a bit of burnt sienna here. Get a sort of green. Let's try green. With a bit more wet on that. Okay, we've had a bit of stuff on the foreground. Bit of warm in there. It doesn't do everything, but then it's just down to your skill with practice. A reflection. Got a good green. Probably the smaller one will be better for this. Let's Just we'll put a bit of shadow in. Okay, I expect that will take a bit of scraping. Right, a bit of foreground, a bit of green-ish. Bit wet. Now this brush has got a lovely point. It's very gentle. It's a bird. Oops. Right, it was just a simple little one. Let's put a mount on it. This is a tutorial and I'm still developing my bit of skill with these brushes. I'm not sure I'd like to let myself loose with that one on a big sky. The Hake is a better brush, but well, there we are, very simple tutorial. The sky, nothing wrong with the sky. Right, I'll go back to the landscape now. I could do a bit of dry brush on there, but I put a bit of reflection there. I suppose you could just take a bit of that out. Okay, right. Yeah, I'm going to let that go. That's an example. I'll do another one now and see what we can make of that. We'll do two in one, shall we? Take that off. Where's the other bit? Other bit. try a more traditional picture. I've got to drink my tea before it goes cold, otherwise it's horrible. Ah, that'll do. Right, bit of wet. Okay. Squeeze out the moisture. Try a bit of raw sienna. Same approach every time. I'm not a lover, as you know, a lover of sponge lifting out. A bit of shadow. Put a little bit of blue underneath that. Well, slightly darker in places. Now the light red is a very overwhelming colour, but the ultramarine isn't. Right, okay, that'll do. Right, I'll re-clip the paper and I'll give it a bit of a dry. Then we'll do some ordinary landscape. Well, maybe similar to one I did yesterday. Let's try it off. I don't want the paint to disappear into the paper, and also the drying will fix the sky. Okay. Right, now I like flat landscapes. I love salt marsh. It's good to, I like using my hake. So let's just get a bit of background, a bit of light background paints. So we'll have a bit of sienna, a bit of burnt sienna, a bit of salt marsh. So let's I used to know an artist who used to demonstrate for our art group, Keith Birkinshaw. He would do his drawing with very faint grey colour. He'd use dots. By the time he'd finished his painting, you couldn't see the dots. Very clever. And then he would dry the watercolour, and then go over it with a thin wash of raw sienna all over. And it aged the painting in quite an incredible way. I'm not going to do that myself. I want to dry that because I'm going to use the little brush. So headphones again. Oh, we can't, it's cut out for a while. It's overheated. Okay, well I'll carry on with the salt marsh. Let's just get a little bit of shadow in there. Bit of green. Salt marsh. Got a bit of green in there. Payne's grey and a bit of cad yellow. Pale. Okay. I know I've done this umpteen times, but I love doing them, and I know you like them as well. Now maybe that'll dry. But, it's a very, very good paper, very very malleable. Is that the right word? Not malleable, that's bending metal, isn't it? But very, very kind. Can't think of the word now. Probably because I'm thinking of what I'm going to do next. So a bit of ultramarine. Oh, even a bit of Payne's grey with the blue. Even better. So the smallest one of these brushes. They hold lots and lots of water, as you can see. Now we're going towards the land. This is the salt marsh tide coming in or going out. This is a bit darker. A bit of the old barn. It's warming up a little bit. I might block it that side with something. Okay, so we've got a bit of distance. We're going to put a bit of bluey, greeny stuff along here. Tiny point on this brush. Okay, now got a bit of darker green. I've still into the old Payne's grey. Put a little bit of a bushes around the edge of that. Okay, so we've got the bank. Let's put a bit of a. Well, maybe not yet. Maybe we'll just leave that as it is. Now, I'm working from memory, but I want to put a bit of a bush here. I might overwhelm it, but let's see what happens. So a little bit of a shadow in that. A bit of yellow. Just in case the mount doesn't fit. So well, there we are. Right, let's put a little bit of work in here. I'll just dry that again, just in case. Or we can try to reclip, can't we? I was also asked if these brushes are available on Amazon. I'm sure they are, but I get paid from Patreon and private sales on PayPal, and Amazon doesn't take PayPal, so I very rarely go on it. Let's just stick that down. Okay, now we're going to have a nice bit of warm, bit of green, don't know about warm. Alright, so a little bit of a just using the sides of the brush. Okay, now we'll put a couple of trees in here. Oh, I put it there in the wrong place. It's supposed to be there. So we'll alter that bit, we'll put that into the foreground. Another one there. Put a few little oh, not very good. Probably I'm trying a bit too small, but I meant that tree to go into that bit there, but it didn't, so alright, where's me there's my mount. Maybe a little bit of warmer colour. But not in here. No, we'll leave that. Just a barn in the marsh. Barn on the marsh. Well, there we are. So 2 for the price of 1, folks. Sorry about the mount. I might try and clean it up a bit. Don't know how, but anyway, I'll see you soon. I'll get these uploaded. Bye bye.